The Lake Forest Podcast is supported by viewers, listeners, and businesses just like you. Looking for the best pool supplies? Look no further than Dohany's Pool Supplies. With a history dating back to 1967, this family-owned business offers everything families need to keep their pools clean and sparkling, from chemicals to equipment. Plus, customers enjoy free shipping on all orders. Visit Dohany's Pool Supplies today at doheny.com, DOHENY.com, to learn more. Broker Michelle Parno has lived and worked in Lake Forest for over 2 decades. Michelle's lending experience, when combined with her real estate expertise, makes her an invaluable asset to her clients as they navigate their home buying or selling process. Call Michelle now at 847-528-8721, 847-528-8721. For the best cannabis in the world, look no further than Epidemic Grow. Owned by Lake Bluff's own Rich Ruzich, they are a cannabis cultivation center focusing on hard-to-find small batch products that will delight both the occasional user and ganjier. When visiting Michigan, ask for it by name. Epic Products, exceptional process. For more information, email info@iliadgrow.com. Havey Communications has been helping first responders arrive safely since 1983. It's owned by Lake Forest's own Mike Havey. Check them out at haveycommunications.com. Laracy & Company CPAs, founded in 2010 by Lake Forest's own Brian Laracy, specializes in tax preparation and bookkeeping services. Earning the People Love Us on Yelp award, their process is straightforward. Just upload, review, and file. For a free quote, visit LaracyCPA.com now. That's LARISEYCPA.com. Explore top-tier aesthetic care at Aesthetic Beauty Lounge, where they specialize in the latest Botox and fillers. Experience the pinnacle of elegance and professionalism in every treatment. Ready for your transformation? Visit Aesthetic Beauty Lounge at 775 Bank Lane in Lake Forest. That's near Wisconsin Avenue. Begin your journey to beauty today. We'd also like to say we're thankful for our Patreon supporters, Otto, John C., Helen, and Herrick. All right. There's the hat. Democratic mega donor Prue Beidler hosts Hillary Clinton fundraiser. We knew that. You can unmute.
You like this hat better? So I got the Liberty shirt and the Lake Forest Scouts hat.
I like the spear. I like the spear.
With the spear, arrowhead, whatever you want to call it. Out of my cold, dead hands, Matt Montgomery, will you take this hat from me? I'll take the hat off. I don't like wearing the hat on camera. Right?
Yeah, we saw Matt at the ribbon cutting. Good to see.
I shook his hand. I shook his hand.
Okay.
I don't really know. So that was the first time I'd met him, and it took me after I didn't catch it that it was him until after he walked away. I was talking to someone else at the time. I think he was more interested in talking to them. I don't know if he knew who I was, or if he didn't. But
like I told him,
you want to talk about the ribbon cutting? I think that was a great event.
That was a great event, and it was.
You were there. They recorded in all its glory.
I think I was one of the few people wearing shorts, the only true Chicagoan out there.
You fit right in Florida there with our guest this week. So.
How about Jake? Good guy.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed having him on. He had a good perspective. And I know a lot of people that love Lake Forest but don't love Illinois. And if Lake County keeps voting Democrat, don't love Lake County anymore. It's becoming Cook County North. It seems like, no offense to Holly Kim and Anthony Vega, but you got, the rest of that Sandy Hart and the rest of that crowd there. They raised the gas tax. They doubled the Lake County property tax. So I can see where people love Lake Forest, but at some point they're going to get priced out of living here between the school taxes and the state and county taxes. So,
well, what's keeping me here is family, right? You can't.
Yeah, I mean, it's family, it's work. If your job is here and you're 10 years away from retiring, you're not going to, pick up and move. stuff like that. You don't want to interrupt your kids' education and break them away from their friends, all that personal stuff. But you're right. If I was starting life from scratch, I'd probably started in Florida. But that's no slam on Lake Forest. I love Lake Forest. I wish I'd lived in Lake Forest my whole life, like people who I know have. And it's a great little, like I said, the perfect thing would be for the state of Florida to annex the city of Lake Forest. And it would be a win-win. He would get Pritzker would love it because let's face it, this is a more conservative community, so it'd be less votes against him. And
so a couple shows ago, we made mention that our buddy Prue Beidler had lunch with Hillary, and I guess something just came out in the Lake County Gazette.
Oh,
Democratic mega donor Prue Beidler hosts Hillary Clinton fundraiser. What does that mean?
What is Hillary fundraising for?
That's what I'm asking.
I'll have to read the article, but I mean, I don't think Hillary is running for anything unless it's like a PAC for her to give money to Democrats. So look, Prue's a Democratic mega donor, right? I can't think of a Democrat she hasn't given money to, right? I mean,
maybe it's money for Prue.
If I'm Brad Schneider should ask Prue why she's given more money to Jan Schakowsky than to Brad.
Well, Brad
lives in Brad's district, and look, I'm a Republican. I'm not going to vote for Brad Schneider, but I'd take Brad Schneider over Jan Schakowsky any day of the week. So, but
Brad said he's going to come on the show. We're still waiting.
I hope he is. Brad has no primary, by the way. Your buddy, Mr. Severino, didn't bother to file.
He didn't file?
He did not file, sir. He's sitting, and he put out a statement saying he's going to run as an independent. So he's gone from being a hard right Republican to being a Democrat to now running as an independent, supposedly. But you need like 10,000 signatures.
Oh, you can
file as an independent. I'm going to go on the bet here. I'll bet him dinner at Duffer's that he won't get 10,000 signatures. He won't get whatever the legal number is to file as an independent candidate on there. But, whatever.
Well, we have Joe back on. Let's ask him about that.
Why don't we get Brad Schneider and Jim Karras will come on the podcast eventually, now that he has no contested primary. So it'll be Karras versus Schneider for Congress. Jim is a Lake Forest resident, former Plan Commission member, very well liked here in the city. He is not related to former Alderman Karras. In fact, the last name is spelled differently. So, but Jim will eventually come on here, and he's got an uphill battle. Let's not kid ourselves that yes, if it was just running for Lake Forest, Jim could win. But there's a lot more to that district than Lake Forest. It's Highland Park, it's Northbrook, it's a whole bunch of Waukegan. And Schneider is, again, I'm not going to vote for him, but Schneider is a pretty moderate Democrat by Democratic Party standards today. He was one of only 20 Democrats to vote to censure that Tlaib, or whatever her name was, that called for the destruction of Israel, or whatever the hell she said.
I don't know. I'm curious to hear about Brad Schneider more than I am on the Republican side of things.
Well, look, Brad is probably going to win. I mean, I'm going to vote for Jim Karras, and I hope he does. But the NRCC, at least as of right now, is not targeting that district. So I
have no real beef with Schneider.
My two issues with Brad Schneider,
if I heard about him.
My two issues, I like Brad personally, but my two issues with him, and like I said, I'm not going to vote for him. But my two issues with him are, one, taxes. I mean, I don't see any difference between him and any other Democrat on taxes. And two, this whole Iran deal has come back to be a horrible, horrible thing, and he supported it when Bob Dole was against it. So, I mean,
I'm just letting you know, if he would come on, he could, and if he could explain himself, maybe I would change, my mind on it. But whatever.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably going to win, no matter whether he comes on or not.
Yeah, right.
So, but he said he'd come on. I'd love to have a chat with him and get his take on things. But everybody spells Hamas wrong, Pete. When they talk about when they write Hamas down, it's spelled IRAN. That's how you spell Hamas. But
I thought it was HUMMUS.
No, it's IRAN. And why Brad Schneider supported giving all that money to Iran was a really dumb idea. I know Brad's Jewish. He spent time in Israel. I respect his support for Israel, but he exercised really bad judgment on the Iran.
He would come on, we could talk, maybe I'd care more. But getting back,
but there's other races too that Mary Cole has no primary, so it will be Mary Cole versus Eric Reinhardt for state's attorney. We had Mary on a few months ago now. She wants to come back on here again at some point and talk more. She's had a couple of good Facebook posts and good press releases now on some of the stuff that's really going bad at Eric Reinhardt's office. Couple of high-profile cases now where people who should have stayed behind bars were let out, and even like one of the cases, the judge even was questioning the assistant state's attorney, like, "Are you sure you want to let this person out?" And they're like, "No, yeah, Reinhardt wants him out." I mean, this is serious stuff.
Serious if something happens in Lake Forest.
Well, and it has happened. A guy got killed by a hit and run driver, and he let him out.
Fair enough. People got to remember that. Getting back, since we're talking about Democrats, let's get back to the four. I don't want to say four stooges, but you got Beidler, you got Garrett Morrison, and then you got Rummel.
Rummel's not a Democrat, though, Pete.
She's. I don't know. There's something there. Look,
she endorsed Prue Beidler. Okay. And I have told that to a lot of my fellow Republican friends here in town that say, why are you guys critical of Melanie? She's part of the Republican organization with her husband. And that's true. She is part of the Republican organization. And as far as I can tell, financially does support the Shields GOP and some of the local candidates. But she endorsed Prue Beidler, Democratic mega donor, Eric Reinhardt, Kim Fox supporter, leaf blower grabber, Kim Beidler, Prue Beidler.
But on the Melanie side of things, those guys did something funky with the finances. We can put that up there. And she's always on the wrong side of history of things to get a hold of this niche. And she was against the turf field, yet she was there at the ribbon cutting. And I said, I went up to her like I do. Melanie, what a great idea. Is this a good idea? Yes or no? Nothing to say.
Talk to you,
why not?
No need.
Well, you voted against us. Why are you here?
I won't respond to you.
Why? I don't know you, man. My name is Pete Jansons.
Excuse me.
But I know you.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
All right. Who are you?
No, this was not a good project.
It's not good?
No.
Not a good idea?
No.
With my body camera on, caught some of it.
You got to get a better camera, man, so we can actually see this.
Go right ahead.
Go right on your forehead. Why don't you get something on your forehead?
Go right ahead. Well, it's because I'm looking at somebody in the eyes. I'm not paying attention to where my camera is. So I'm looking at Melanie's eyes. I said, why are you here? You voted against it. Was this a good or bad idea? You know what she responded to? You could know. Nothing to say.
Talk to you,
See this with the camera. She shrugged her shoulders.
I mean, look, if
I'm not responding to you.
If she wants to be mayor, which a lot of people think she does,
of course she does. More than
she needs to start answering people's questions, even people you don't like. I mean, that outburst at Gorton.
For mayor, come on, Melanie, come on. Why don't you throw it? Oh, I am. I'm 6'6". Oh, come on now. She's running.
This wouldn't answer my question.
I'm so sick of you.
She wouldn't answer my question, what she thinks of Mayor Tack. And, look, if she's not running again and she's just riding off into the sunset, so be it. But she continues to inject herself into public debate. So it's a fair question to ask. Are you running? Because there's a lot of people in town who say, I think she's going to run against Randy Tack in 2025. So yes or no, or I'm still thinking about it. At least give some answer when
How can you be
a
thinking
show
about
that
it?
is watched by at least 1,000 people every week is
She's like this.
City Council for supporting the vision for this project, especially former Mayor George Pantaleone. The Parks and Recreation.
Yeah. Come on, Melanie, you can clap.
The Parks and
The Grinch.
I mean,
She's a Grinch who tried to steal the turf.
I just, like I said, I don't know how you reconcile endorsing Prue Beidler with wanting to be the mayor of the city that overwhelmingly rejected Prue Beidler.
Look, it's as simple as the turf.
Well, the turf. Why would you go to a dedication of something you voted against? And I'm told by a couple of the aldermen that she, in the lead up to this, she because she's big on the environmental stuff and all that, she made them do a bunch of stuff for environmental wise that jacked up the cost of this. Yet she still voted no.
Yeah. Her and her buddy Mary.
Who was the lady next to her? We ever?
I got it. Hold on here.
Oh, you got it. Okay.
Her name was Mary Matthews.
Okay.
I don't know you,
Watch
man. My name's
videos.
Pete
Excuse
Jansen.
me.
But I know you.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
All right. Who are
Okay.
you?
No, this was not a good project.
It's not good.
No.
Not a good idea.
No.
No idea who it is.
Never heard the name before.
And a show, but oh my God, sourpuss, both of them. Everybody's clapping around them, and
Yeah, it was a great event. Great event.
why go? Such a bad Jew.
Yeah, I mean, look, there were a couple things back in my ancient days as a school board member. I voted against a couple of the additions at the buildings over there in Niles, and I didn't go to the dedication. I would have been. I think I would have been chased out. I voted no. There were a lot of 5-2 votes on some of that stuff, and I was.
The big beef is this.
I didn't go to it. Now I support the turf fields. Don't get me wrong. I would have voted yes on the turf fields, but
they were beefing about the forever plastics, and they're drinking water bottles. what's the why?
Maybe she's recycling the water bottles. You don't know that, Pete. But there is the whole plastic debate is.
You looking
There's
for
so much stuff out there that's plastic now that a turf field isn't going to matter that much. Now, you as a former football player, I don't know how you feel about playing on those fields.
I already said I prefer grass. It's just grass doesn't work out here in this climate. That's
Right.
all. And it's too.
The turf has gotten a lot better from the Walter Payton days.
Yeah, tell that to Aaron Rodgers.
No. Again, I was a baseball player. You're a football player. So
look, here's the choice, and it's all about marketing. It's why is the turf good? Because should the kids play or not play? Do you want to have a chance to play or a cancellation? Turf is the only thing that'll work so you can have the kids play. So being active and running the risk of injury is better than not being active.
And I don't think playing on that field for a couple hours is going to really damage somebody's health because of the plastics. And then they do bring up the heat. Somebody posted on the city's Facebook page something about the it's hotter on the turf field than it is on a regular field.
Yeah, it is 20-30 degrees hotter. Yeah.
Well, most of these games are in the spring and fall when it's cold out, so that might be a good thing, right?
No, but it's just these small group of niche complainers never got picked for gym class that want to get together.
I never played on the field. I don't know. I didn't get picked.
You watch soccer. You watch the kids playing soccer, and then you watch all those people that were against it. You'll see a bunch of hypocrites. So,
yeah, we had kids in soccer. Our kids were in soccer, and I can't tell you, they had to delay the opening one year by 6 weeks because we had those really bad rains and stuff that just really wrecked the field. So I think this is a good thing. The dedication was great. Mayor Tack, all the staff that was there. It was good to see all the rank and file
Yeah.
Parks and Rec guys and Public Works guys there because they're the real workers. The city council will tell you that. Anxious to see how the pickleball stuff plays out. I think they're still working on that part down there in the corner. My wife wants her and me to start playing pickleball next year. So I might be spending some time there. I don't know.
that was first rate, first class. And so now the next thing that these complainers need to get over is we need tournaments. We need tournaments to come in to bring people from out of town to spend money in this town, get some tax revenue, and be for the tournaments. Don't be against the tournaments.
What's the argument against the tournaments?
That just what I said. They don't want other outsiders coming in.
Oh, well, I mean, I noticed at the council meeting the other night, they talked about having like an online scheduling and all this stuff, but.
Well, no, specifically tournaments, and you can control when tournaments are. You can do it with the downtime. I'm not talking just football. Not so much football, but baseball, flag football, all that softball, getting people to come in. So I think tournaments, you could really accelerate the income stream. And they did do that at the city council meeting. I think it was 100 and something an hour or whatever to rent out the fields. But I think that's the next thing that these complainers, what do we call them? I call them the green meanies back in the day with Scoot.
Well, we've had a bunch of different names for them over time. The non-transparent.
Oh
folks.
God.
Are
those guys even still
hysterical
around?
Folks.
They're scheming. What are they going to scheme on
the
next?
Prue bots. What other names have you come up with here?
They're working on their lawn signs that say Santa sucks.
How about how about the 39 percenters?
Oh my God. So it's a great thing. It was a good thing. And for whatever it's going to cost me in the taxes to have that out there, I get that more so than I do the referendum for the.
Now they financed it a lot better than the school district did. Yeah. Let me tell you that to minimize the cost.
Well, I tried to ask the questions, but and like I said, I saw Matt at the gig, came up, shook hands. I got no issue with the guy. He came on.
Guy personally, everybody tells me that. I wish I'd realized it was, it was so cold. I don't know how you stood there in shorts.
Except from Chicago, not Skokie.
Oh my! But
Oh, you're not. You're not from.
I'm warm-blooded. I don't know. No, but I didn't. It was so quick, and after he walked away, that was Matt Montgomery. Okay, but it was. I mean, like we said on the show a couple weeks ago, don't hate the player, hate the game.
So, and let's see what else happened over the weekend. Hey, I want to give a shout out to Rookies Rochaus in West Dundee.
Oh yeah,
led by Bob Kosa and Tim the Sound Guy. What a great place that is.
Art of Glass, your band.
Yeah.
When you tribute, when you going tribute band? What do you?
Well, look, a tribute fixates on one artist, and that's pretty much all that they do. Okay, cover band just covers a whole bunch of different songs.
Right. Okay. So you're a tribute band. You only do Blondie songs.
We only do a majority is Blondie. So like the main act was The Chain, and they focused only on Fleetwood Mac, and they were fantastic. Oh my goodness. And Deacon Frost was the middle band. They did, they were a cover band. They covered.
So like 30 years from now, are there going to be like Taylor Swift cover tribute bands and whoever else is the current rage with the kids? Taylor Swift was Person of the Year by Time Magazine.
Of course. The marketing, it's all marketing.
Yeah, I mean,
and Taylor Swift's a cover band.
But what's she did? Did you ever see the video of her with Def Leppard?
No.
Go on YouTube and type Taylor Swift Def Leppard, and it's her singing "Pour Some Sugar on Me" with Def Leppard. You go watch it.
Well, what's the reason there's a jukebox in a bar? You want to create the environment of whatever it is, okay? And that's kind of when you have live music, it's a certain type of environment that is happening, and you want to know what to expect. So West Rookies Rochaus, that reminds me of like 28 Mile in Highwood. It's a smaller theater style venue where it's like you're in a large theater experience in a small space. So with the balconies and professional lighting, sound, and stage, and it's
What are the next gigs for you? I think I saw you guys posted some more gigs.
we're gonna play Palatine December 15th at Mad Cats. We're gonna have a great time there, and we're reaching out to 28 Mile. I think we need to have more listeners, reach out to them, say,
Why don't you just do? You remember the YouTube video where they did the impromptu concert on a roof? Why don't you just do an impromptu concert one day in Lake Forest? Just set up in the parking lot, start playing. Everybody comes, like that YouTube.
Number
video.
one, we're not the Beatles. Number two, Kathy.
Not you too. That's right. They copied it from the Beatles. You're right.
Yeah. So it was good, and now we're getting ready for Christmas, Chinooka, Kwanzaa time, that time of year, getting the plans together. So no better time than Lake Forest to have.
I mean, if you haven't been to downtown, uptown, Market Square, go to Market Square one night. Debbie's parents were here for dinner the other night, and we drove them around after dinner to. Around, it's just absolutely beautiful. I mean, the lights and everything are just absolutely just perfect. And I ride that metro train north through all the towns here on the North Shore, and we've got the best looking Christmas display of all the towns.
Rosemont's pretty
well. I ain't on the train line, but hey, I don't want to knock the Stevens family. I know a couple of the people involved with the Stevens family, so I'll leave them. I'll leave them out of my term limit thing. Rosemont's a well-run town, so but Rosemont's not Lake Forest, and Lake Forest's not Rosemont. So they're two different places.
It's a Hallmark movie town.
Yeah.
Joe, anything else going up that we need to address?
Just like we talked about the candidate fronts, there's no aldermanic elections. I mean, there will be aldermanic elections next year, but the caucus slate is uncontested. Nobody filed to run against the 4 caucus candidates. There were some thoughts that maybe the opposition, the 39%ers, might try and, because if they had to run a whole slate and won all those seats, that would have made Mayor Tack's life pretty difficult at city council meetings, perhaps. But that didn't materialize, which I think speaks to they can get people to come to a room one night, but they just can't get people to come out to a regular election and vote because the majority of folks in this town like the way this town's being run.
Unless they're at a ribbon cutting and they're like this.
I'm sick of you. I mean, just look, if you're going to run for office, you got to answer people's questions. Ask Prue Beidler how it worked out refusing to come on this podcast. Okay. So
he's too busy with Hillary.
Come on the show, talk it over. You're really nice to every guest that's ever been on, right? I mean, have you ever been mean to a guest on this show? Never.
I think you can be confrontational, but do it.
I mean, yeah, you don't sit there and go. It's not like that certain other podcast that is created here in this city where we don't see the video, but we hear it, and it's like,
I'm sure they're working on something. It's been a 3 or 4.
Come on your show. Come on, Tim. I want to come on.
Oh my God, those guys are so full.
Oh, come on. Right. I'll bring my NPR voice. I can do it.
Tell you what, what's his name? The gum chewer.
Oh, Turkla.
What?
Supposed to have a beer with him one day. When are we going to have the summit?
I think he likes other things. I'll give him a pack of.
What else happened at the council meeting the other night? I'm trying to remember if anything.
What I saw was a lot of. They were going over the field and the finances.
Yeah, a couple of students. Good to see students engaged in democracy.
Yeah, shout out. That was pretty good.
Yeah, now I think Dr. Tack was very tactful in responding to them on they brought up look, and
Good evening, council members. My name is Nick Waymeyer. My address is 402 Pine Court. I'm a senior at Lake Forest High School, and our civics class has partnered with the Lake County Health Department to learn about advocacy and public health to propose 2 ordinances in the community. One prohibiting the sale of flavored e-cigarettes in Lake Forest, and one will limit the number of retailers. As many of us know, vaping has become an epidemic among young adults. Throughout high school, I have seen my peers use vaping products in school, at parties, social gatherings, sports events, pretty much everywhere. The detrimental health effects justify the regulation of these products in our community. E-cigarettes contain a plethora of hazardous chemicals. Among these, heavy metals such as lead, arsenic, chromium, and nickel. And according to the CDC, lead is a potent neurotoxin that poses extreme risk to the nervous system and brain function. It can also cause learning disabilities, speech problems, and learning or behavior issues. Also, the National Institute of Health states that arsenic, nickel, and chromium are recognized carcinogens. When it comes to e-cigarette flavoring, there are thousands of flavors. A chemical commonly used for butter flavor is called diacetyl, which is responsible for popcorn lung, a disease characterized by scarring of tiny air sacs in the lungs and thinning of airways. Unfortunately, there are over 7,000 unnamed chemical flavorings whose impacts also remain undisclosed. We just don't know what's in e-cigarettes, let alone the effects they have on the users. Flavorings are also used to draw in users, notably children. According to the American Medical Association, 80% of youth who try tobacco start with flavored products. Prohibiting the sale of flavors in our community would reduce youth initiation to vaping. When you look at marketing associated with vaping products, you'll notice that it almost looks like candy, something kids would be attracted to. The more children are exposed to these products, the more attracted to them they are. By limiting the number of retailers, we would limit the exposure to appealing marketing, which would in turn decrease youth initiation. The negative health effects of e-cigarettes greatly outweigh the positives they might bring. Ultimately, we are trying to better the health of our community, and by creating these ordinances, we can do just that. Safeguarding the health of our community, particularly the youth, falls in your hands, and by prohibiting the sale of these products, you would uphold this responsibility and preserve the well-being of the children in Lake Forest. Thank you. Any questions?
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you guys for giving me your time tonight.
Can
my
you
name is
state your
Xander
name,
Mazar.
please?
Yeah, Xander Mazar, 598 Rockefeller Road.
Thank you.
So I'm also a senior at Lake Forest High School, and I'll be speaking on behalf of Mr. Whipple's civics class about our proposed ordinances for the city of Lake Forest. These ordinances are to reduce the zoning areas in which these vapes can be sold and to ban the addictive flavors these devices come in. As a high school student, I am well aware of the many issues with these devices and how they affect my peers, as I often see the addictive capabilities firsthand, whether it be at parties, events, or even at our own school. Not only do I notice this, but many other students see the same thing day in and day out. It doesn't matter if it is a one-time thing at an event or whether it is seeing people vaping in school every day throughout every class period. It is very frustrating to sit around and see this happening with my peers. E-cigarettes contain highly concentrated levels of nicotine, an extremely addictive substance responsible for many side effects, including mood disorders, reduced impulse control, difficulty concentrating, impaired learning, and much, much more. LEAD recently conducted a youth community survey and found that 7% of 11th and 12th graders who filled out the survey said they use these products every day and many times per day. Now, 7% may not seem like a lot, but I would like you to keep in mind that this 7% is only the people who are completely honest about their use of these products, not to mention some kids who may not be aware of their addiction. Furthermore, nicotine is especially bad for adolescents as it primes their brains for future addictions to more harmful drugs. Ultimately, our main goal is to protect youth from the harmful side effects of vaping. As you probably know, you must be 21 to purchase nicotine products. However, according to the survey done by LEAD, more than 50% of current 11th and 12th graders say it's very easy or sort of easy to obtain vaping products. I'm not sure about you, but I think these numbers are very concerning, with more than 1 out of 2 upperclassmen saying it's easy to currently obtain these products despite being well underage. In order to make these products less accessible to youth, we are proposing an ordinance that would prohibit the sale of flavored e-cigarettes and another one that would limit retailer density. These would both apply to the city of Lake Forest and Lake Bluff. Our civics class recently conducted a survey of our own with input from high school students and parents in the area. In this survey, we found that out of 105 respondents, 75% said they support prohibiting flavors, and a whopping 84% say they would like to see a limit on the number of tobacco retailers in the area. Just as a reminder, over 30% of the 105 respondents were kids under 21, so not only are adults very much in favor of these ordinances, but the kids are backing for them too. Given the overwhelming support from people around the community, as well as the backing of the Lake County Health Department, I hope you will follow them and other surrounding communities and make the right choice and help end this epidemic once and for all. Thank you for your time. Any questions?
Thank you. Any others? Okay. So, particularly like to thank you for coming and speaking to us about this issue that I know is very important to you. I hope you continue to stay involved in local government issues as time passes. While we appreciate you speaking on this issue, I want you to know that there are a few reasons why City Council would be reluctant to consider regulatory ban on the sale of these products. Issues to consider. Number one, there's been minimal documented history from the police department of violations by businesses selling tobacco products to minors. In addition, we have concerns about efficacy of banning tobacco products while still permitting others to be sold, certain tobacco products. And last, from what I understand, no other Lake County municipality has enacted a similar ban. One has to question what the value of an isolated ban would be on the ability of youth to obtain these products. So even though regulatory action isn't likely at this time, there is an opportunity for an education campaign that could help encourage your peers to avoid flavored tobacco products. If you are interested, please connect with the city staff and perhaps the team at Croya regarding partnering on an educational campaign that can help encourage Lake Forest's youth to avoid flavored tobacco.
Props to the kids, right? I mean, the fact that they're actually getting involved in local government and not worrying about presidential elections.
Well, whoever their civics teacher is, I'm sure they got some credit for going in. But
yeah, I was in civics class. I had to do that stuff too. I remember that whole thing. And
appreciate your memory. But these kids went up, and maybe the teacher, whatever, he got influence, and they came up, and it's like that is the next generation that's coming in. That if you want,
well, look, e-cigarettes are bad. I'm not going to dispute that, and the flavor. Look, any tobacco. I've had family that their lives were shortened because of tobacco. I think we all know people that smoking really took a toll on their health or whatever tobacco usage. So I'm not a fan of this stuff, but you know, government. I've said this before on this show. Government has a really bad track record of banning things.
We're in Illinois. Okay, just tax the hell out of it.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can, and they do.
Yeah, even more.
And people still buy it. But, you know, look, like I said, I think if you want the best response to that, go watch what Dr. Tack said. He basically said, educate, don't mandate.
Yeah.
And I think he's a doctor, so he knows better than anyone about the effects of this stuff. But, he's absolutely right that banning it, you know, and maybe they need to do, you know, they do these checks, these compliance checks on liquor sales, and a couple liquor establishments have been busted for selling to minors. Maybe they need to do more. Maybe they need to do, because it is, you have to be 21 to purchase tobacco products. That's a state law. So maybe they just need to do just like you do alcohol. Maybe they need to do some compliance checks like they do for.
I think what they need to do is, and you can mark this timestamp, tax the hell out of it and give free Ozempic out, and that will take care of it.
I don't know, man. I'm seeing all these Facebook ads for side effects of Ozempic. I'm not sure.
No, you're going to find that.
Grow a third arm or something. I don't know, man.
No, but I think what you're going to find out is whatever it's not just food, it's drugs, it's alcohol.
Yeah, look, I had a serious, I'm diabetic. I had a serious weight problem and still kind of do. Look, and there's foods out there that, man, are like poison to me, right? But I'm and remember Michael Bloomberg, when he was mayor in New York City, was trying to ban soft drinks and junk food and all that. It doesn't work. It just educate, don't mandate, because all you do is create a black market. As Randy said at the meeting the other night, if you just ban it in Lake Forest, they'll just go to Highwood and buy it.
Again, not saying to ban it. Look, technology got us into this problem. Corn syrup, sugar, all this stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sugar is as old as the hills, but
right. But there is some technology on the other end is with this Ozempic that turns off that switch in the brain. You just watch.
Trulicity?
Company should.
I take Trulicity.
The anterior cingulate of the brain, the switch of the brain for cravings. Okay. Anything that can turn that thing off, that will lower insurance rates, that will increase life expectancy. You watch, timestamp this podcast. Joe, I'm done because I'm starting to get into mental health, and that'll take me another 2 hours.
Okay, go Scouts. Go Scouts.
Go Spears.
And go Liberty in the Fiesta Bowl.
All right. Have a great night. Bye.
The
Lake Forest Podcast is supported by viewers, listeners, and businesses just like you. Looking for the best pool supplies? Look no further than Dohany's Pool Supplies. With a history dating back to 1967, this family-owned business offers everything families need to keep their pools clean and sparkling, from chemicals to equipment. Plus, customers enjoy free shipping on all orders. Visit Dohany's Pool Supplies today at doheny.com, DOHENY.com, to learn more. Broker Michelle Parno has lived and worked in Lake Forest for over 2 decades. Michelle's lending experience, when combined with her real estate expertise, makes her an invaluable asset to her clients as they navigate their home buying or selling process. Call Michelle now at 847-528-8721, 847-528-8721. For the best cannabis in the world, look no further than Iliad Epic Grow. Owned by Lake Bluff's own Rich Ruzich, they are a cannabis cultivation center focusing on hard-to-find small batch products that will delight both the occasional user and ganjier. When visiting Michigan, ask for it by name. Epic Products, exceptional process. For more information, email info@iliadgrow.com. Havey Communications has been helping first responders arrive safely since 1983. It's owned by Lake Forest's own Mike Havey. Check them out at haveycommunications.com. Larry C. & Company CPAs, founded in 2010 by Lake Forest's own Brian Laracy, specializes in tax preparation and bookkeeping services. Earning the People Love Us on Yelp award, their process is straightforward. Just upload, review, and file. For a free quote, visit LaracyCPA.com now. That's LARISEYCPA.com. Explore top-tier aesthetic care at Aesthetic Beauty Lounge, where they specialize in the latest Botox and fillers. Experience the pinnacle of elegance and professionalism in every treatment. Ready for your transformation? Visit Aesthetic Beauty Lounge at 775 Bank Lane in Lake Forest. That's near Wisconsin Avenue. Begin your journey to beauty today. We'd also like to say we're thankful for our Patreon supporters, Otto, John C., Helen, and Herrick.